What's going on, everyone? This is Vince from Life with Vince coming at you on BJJ Thursdays, where I share with you my experience as a white belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. In today's episode, I'm going to share with you the best pieces of advice that I've received so far. So the first piece of advice that I probably use the most is asking the person that I'm rolling with after the roll for pointers. So after you roll, they say, hey, any pointers? And then they'll usually give you 1 to 2 pieces of advice. So if you're leaving your arms out, they'll say, hey, you know, you're kind of leaving your arms out, don't do that. Or hey, you were moving pretty well, keep doing that. Also, if you're in between rounds, they'll usually say, you know, meet me after class, and then after class, you can go over with them that pointer. So super helpful. So the next piece of advice is to actually keep a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu journal. So I try to write in mind every day of what we learned in that class. If not, it's going to be every other day where I just do a brain dump of what we learned, like the little intricacies of that certain move. And then with going over it, I try to go over it at least once or twice a week where I just sit down, I'll read the moves and kind of envision it in my head. But this way the moves are still fresh. Yeah. So the next piece of advice I got is from my buddy Stan in San Diego. So shout out to Stan if you're watching this. But the advice is to break down the technique that you're learning into a sequence and then speed up that sequence over time. So when you're first learning a technique, it might be 5 steps. So take it 1 step at a time, but then you can shorten it down to 4, then to 3, then to 2, then to 1. And then after a while, it'll become one fluid motion, while at the same time, you're still getting the intricacies of that specific technique. So another piece of advice is to ask questions. So for me, coming in with no experience in MMA, Jiu-Jitsu, or wrestling, I didn't know what a lot of the positions were. I didn't know a lot of the verbiage, but I asked questions. I would pull people aside or after class and I would just, hey, I know you guys keep talking about this, you know, what does this mean? Or I saw you do this, what is that? And then slowly but surely you'll learn the verbiage, the moves, what is what position, and it'll all slowly make more sense. So the next and last piece of advice that I'm gonna share with you all is probably the most important, and that is showing up, being consistent. The more that you show up, the more that you're gonna learn, and the more that you're gonna have the opportunity to practice what you learned. There were weeks when I would show up once or twice a week, but when I came back a week later, it felt like I was starting from zero again. But when I started to come 4 or 5 days a week, everything started to flow. I was able to see more, I was able to learn more, and I was able to practice more. So thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. To all my jiu-jitsu people, what's the best advice that you've received so far? Comment down below. Also comment down below if you have any questions, comments, concerns, sarcastic remarks, and hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up if you like the video. See y'all soon.